Speaking of fun things at market, why don't
Speaking of fun things, let's bring out our next guest, Jason Phillips with Phillips Collection.
So,
welcome.
thank you. Thank you for having me. Yes.
Absolutely.
So there's a lot to talk about with Phillips Collection. You know, I think first of all, let's talk about you guys did a move about a year
ago. Exactly. Yeah.
Talk about how that's been for you guys.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity. Yeah, we are based here in High Point, so it was very important for us to make High Point the focus, as it always has been. But when a flagship space became available at 135 South Main, that's the corner of Main and Commerce in the former Red Lion Hotel, we had to grab it. So we have an anchor location, highly trafficked, and it's been great for us. We're open year-round now, part of HPXD, which Jane Dagny's running. I'm loving being involved in that, more involved in the community. So it felt like the right decision.
Is there any talk about the hotel project or?
Yes, I do have an update for you on that. We have a wonderful neighbor, which is Carrot Home, which recently acquired Z Gallery out of bankruptcy. And they have they were our neighbor in October with a small space, and I just got a glimpse of what they'll be opening in time for market, and it's a gorgeous upfitting. So the whole ground floor of this property has been renovated now. Some of it is still in construction. I think there's still some space available. We'd love to have great neighbors. But we're excited. Now, as for what happens with the rest of the hotel, that's still in the works. I don't know if you have more info, but we're all patiently waiting.
We are. And we think there's good things to come for that property. But you are correct. It is still very much in the works.
Yes. We've heard of food halls coming in, which gets me excited to have potential brisket and coffee as my neighbor, but that's just me projecting. But yes, we're eager to find out more, and we'll pass the news along if we catch it.
Very nice, very nice. That's kind of a nice segue, right? Talking about food halls. Do you want to?
Sure. Well,
should we go there?
Getting hungry.
Well, let's talk about that, because people come to market and finding places to eat, right? You have to be here. You're here for a long time, and we get that market creep. So now it's start earlier, we go longer. What are your favorite places to eat in High Point? Jason, come on, you're a Greensboro, you're a local guy.
Yeah, in High Point, it has to be 98 Asian Bistro as my first choice. You have to book early. So people catching this now, if wonderful Thai food sounds great to you in the midst of market, it's almost like an oasis when you go in there. It's fun. It's got a great vibe. So shout out to Tu and Todd, who we've known for years, who run that place. There's also the Stock and Grain Food Hall, which I love on a daily basis. But people shaking their heads, yes. Great sushi there, great pizza place. Please chime in, any others.
Absolutely. I would just echo the 98 Asian Bistro. You know, they won our community award recently because they do such a fantastic job for market. So we're excited to have those folks there on Main Street. I love Lulu and Blue. I love Blue Magnolia, all those places that have a little something different in High Point. But at the same time, I mean, you also got to go to the Doghouse. You got to eat at Oscar's on Renton Street. Like, there's all these great places that are just maybe a little bit off the beaten path, or might be, it's not the healthiest. But, I mean, when you're walking 20,000 steps a day, you can have a hot dog, right? So, absolutely.
Yes.
I also love that all of our exhibitors really put out what they're known for at market, and we really encourage those buyers to kind of map their visit according to the food they'd like to eat. Good things at Phillips, too. You guys are known for a little popular event.
Meatballs and moonshine. Yes, I think everyone here has enjoyed that.
Who does not love
Yes. Yes, several thousand of each. And but you know what? For us, it's about hospitality. And that's what Tammy and the Market Authority are all about as well. Welcoming people into your showroom. Of course, there's, you can correlate increased traffic to increased sales, hopefully. So there is a strategy there, but it makes our customers more comfortable. It creates repeat buyers, people that, anybody can transact once, but how do you get people into your ecosystem? I think you deal with the same things about attracting people to market. You can get them here, but how do you keep them here and keep them coming back? And I think that's just based on getting to the heart and soul of who you are as a company.
Well, it's also something that makes High Point unique, right? You're not in an exhibit hall, right? You are actually in a town where there are restaurants around, And you're right. I mean, we all know where to go eat lunch and right, who serves good stuff in the showrooms, right? You map that out. And the lovely thing is people are so welcoming. If you don't come by for lunch, you almost like you're turning down hospitality. There's a feel, there's a collegial kind of yeah. I mean, there's a hospitality here that you sometimes don't feel elsewhere. It really is a great.
I think that's what comes with 116 years. You know, people forget that we've been a market since 1909. And so with that, Bill, comes all of these things that you grow to expect and these exhibitors that you've seen years and years. I mean, Hooker's celebrating 100 years this market. So
stay tuned on that.
How often do you find companies or a market or anything that's been around 116 years, and with that comes baked in, I think, the sense of hospitality that we love and that we love extending to the folks that come to High Point.
Now let's head down, and I want to talk to you. We'll wrap up with talk about what you're doing with the differently abled artists.
Yes.
Time around.
I thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to talk about artists with abilities. We've done this for over 10 years now at every High Point market, having artists in the communities that have challenges. This could be a physical, a developmental, emotional, starting with adult artists for the first 8 years, but in the last 2 years, we've brought in middle school students and high school students. So this, they take our product, whether it's overstock or potentially samples from the showroom. They take second-hand product, essentially, dress it as they interpret it, and end up with some phenomenally decorated product that we sell and give all the proceeds to them. So people can follow Artists with Abilities on Instagram. That's the handle, and you can learn more. And yeah, we'd love to show it to everybody. So we'll have a new display in time for April Market.
It's always one of the sweetest events of market when they come through and you see their faces light up when they're showing what they do.
My father, Mark, has I'm joking, a love affair with an artist, Laura, who is, you know Laura, and he buys every piece of art that she creates. That's a slight exaggeration, but she paints with her feet because she can't use her hands, and she can't verbalize, but she can point to symbols in a book. And just what we've learned from working with these artists and their talent, it has to be, on one end, a product at High Point Market has to be beautiful in some regard. So I'm so happy to say these are beautiful works of art. But the story behind it is what I think is meaningful. Yeah.
What's next?
Big question. We're excited about Market. And we're seeing an uptick in business right now, even from January through to February. And I think that's giving us a lot of encouragement for where things are going to end up this year. I'm so excited about, Tammy runs the Market Authority, but we're basically neighbors here in town. And seeing what they're doing is phenomenal. Yeah.
I'd say from our side, you're going to see an increased concentration on technology going forward. We really adopted a plan a year ago to begin a long-range technology plan that is very customer focused. I feel like technology is one of those things that we all can be more reactive to rather than making this plan for where do we want to be. And so you're going to start to see things roll out in the next 18 months that we've been working on. And we hope it really helps our market guests find great exhibitors like Phillips Collection and all the 2,000 exhibitors who show there, really helping give greater access to them, as well as just really ensuring that guest experience is a good one. I don't want to tip my hand at this, but it's very Disney-esque. So as we start to think about what this looks like, we really strive to have that level of customer service.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to extrapolate 1,000 different ideas.
Right.
All right. Well, thank you both for joining us today. Why don't we take you to the market so you can see some stuff going on downtown?